I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening, but like I'm trying to soak it in. I'm trying to soak the whole moment in. I remember the last time I came here and I uploaded a video, I was completely clueless, and so many unforeseen occurrences have happened from the span of time that I uploaded my last video up until this point. I think the most fitting thing would be sharing with you guys what 2023, the remaining part of 2023, and even early 2024 has taught me. If you are my age range, if you are in your early 20s and even in your mid 20s, even in your early 30s, I feel like you can relate. But if you are in your early 20s, as I am, you should be able to relate way more to these things I'm saying. Everything that's happened this year and everything that's happened last year, this year especially, has taught me to prioritize my peace, has taught me to prioritize my peace of mind. It's crazy how we obsess over things that we know will not do us good. That's a very broad thing to say, right? But I believe that each person, especially if you're living in Nigeria, if you're living in this Lagos, you already have more than enough stress. You already have more than enough things to make you stressed out, right? So it's only normal, or should I say it's only fair, if you take that intentional step to look into yourself and look for ways that you can get rid of the things that are not currently giving you peace of mind. The mind, you will need to be in a very stable state of mind to succeed at anything. So if you want to do anything in this life, you need to have a certain sort of balance within you, a certain level of tranquility within you. If not, you're going to suffer. And I'm still on this journey of learning this. I sometimes I forget, and sometimes I try to just go back to it. It's been a struggle for me, because I realized that the first thing before anything in this life is your state of mind. And being in the right state of mind would actually make your eyes open to other things that you should be doing that concerns you. But if you do not prioritize this, you would as well just be spending the rest of your time, struggling on battles that you most definitely cannot win, because we all know when you start to worry, it's an endless loop, right? I wish I could say more. I could say more on it. I'll probably do a part 2 where I get to talk more about the points I just raised. And if you would like to see the part 2 of that, let me know. That's how they do the finger, right? Let me know right down in the comment section. And another thing I learned is that if you want to be successful, if you want to be successful and you want to quickly succeed, you would have to build a career around the things that you love, right? There is no two ways to it. So many of us, we make the mistake of thinking that we can actually find our way around it. I think one of the lessons that I've learned the most is that when you think about it, the people that we look up to as the most successful or the most talented people in their fields are people that focus on the things that they loved. And it just makes more sense if that particular thing that you love now has the ability to create wealth for you. You're not going to look at it as a job, and because you're not looking at it as a job, you can give everything. You can always have unending ideas. You would always have the drive to keep going, even when you get tired, because we would all get tired, right? And life is short, right? Life is really, really shorter than you think, to think that you have the time to waste your focus, your power, your strength on something that you very well know that you don't love. And most of the time when this happens is that you would quit, and if you quit, then you are in a state of confusion, and it appears like the world is moving around, the world is moving so fast and you are stuck. I've come to see that the only way to avoid that is just to search inside of you and do that one thing that you know very well know that this is, I can never get tired of doing this thing. I absolutely love doing this thing. I am thrilled that the fact that I so much love this thing and it can also give me money is amazing. That's the only thing that would keep you going, that would make you grow, and that would make you multiply anything that you have. That's it. And another thing I've come to learn is that anxiety kills, worrying, going round and round in your head, endless loops. If you are somebody that worries a lot like me, you would have come to realize that each time you have anxiety, something that makes you worry, there is no amount of going back and forth in your mind that's going to stop that. The only time it stops is when you just let it be, when you just let it go. And okay, I'll give you context. So imagine there's something that you are super anxious about, but then you realize that, so like you are anxious about something, you are really anxious about something, but then something distracts you. Let's say somebody comes to your house, right? You just totally forget that you were actually worrying about something. And so that just goes to show that the only way that you can have peace is if you just stop worrying, right? Worrying never stops. We know that worrying never stops. Worrying never cures the problem. We know that worrying makes you sick, but we still do, right? But I feel like the more conscious efforts that you make to not worry, the better you would be. Especially because I'm super aware that in this period that we live in, so many people are going through a lot of emotional and mental stress. So many people are depressed, and so many people cannot afford therapy. So it's a very scary place to be in when you know that you cannot, you don't have the means to afford a therapist, and you feel like your mind is going to explode. And you also feel like if you do not keep foiling that loop, you will not have peace. But then I've come to see that the best thing to do is to starve whatever anxiety you have. Your focus on it, your rumination on it is what feeds it, and that's what causes pain, and that's what makes all of us suffer. I don't want to say too much about it because I might not have all the facts, and I don't really want this to turn to a little therapy session because I'm not a therapist. But at the same time, I feel like that is what I've come to see and what I've come to learn as the things that should be our priority. Also, this is very true. Time teaches. If you're in a certain stage in your life, you might not understand the reason why things have to be a certain way, but the mistakes that we make teaches us. The mistakes that we make carve us and make us who we are. And I also believe that there are some things that you would have to do and experience the hurts before you get to realize that, I shouldn't have made this mistake. Time is the only thing that would teach you. And also, it's that same time that would heal you, right? So everything happens in time. Everything happens, I don't know if it's in or with, that's the right word to use, with time. And, knowing that just makes you realize that there's really no point to be anxious about things, and there's really no need for you to wound yourself, because time would definitely heal you. Time would definitely change your perspective. Time will definitely make you someone else, right? So you just have to be in that state of mind to realize that as time as you as okay, now I the words got stuck in my head, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, I think I made my point already. Time will change you, and time will teach you. So there are some lessons, like, so imagine you have a teenager, right? Your teenage sister. She's probably 18 or 19, and you are trying to explain to her, right, reasons why she should not have a boyfriend. You can agree with me that she would not listen to you, right? She would feel that is it that she feels that you do not understand her, or she feels that you are trying to cage her, and because she has that feeling, curiosity, of course, she'll go out there to see what you're trying to tell her, right? And most of the time that this happens, they end up getting heartbroken, right? And they would eventually come back to you. So instead of telling your sister that, oh, don't avoid men will do this, men, because you know that it is inevitable, you know that curiosity is there, it's just normal, you should tell her what will happen, that, oh, this is the repercussion of this, right? Nobody's going to tell you not to date, because I well know that if you do want to date, you would date, right? You will not listen to me, and I don't know everything that goes on in your life when you're in school, but this is the repercussion, right? But if she goes ahead and she does something and she hurts or burns her finger, she has learned that lesson, and I bet with you that she has learned that lesson completely. Nothing will make her change her mind, and that's why I say that time teaches. So you can apply it on a grander scale when you've made really, really crazy decisions, and somehow you just keep beating yourself up that, oh, if I know, I'll know I've done this. But at the same time, you know that in 2 years from now, you would not even, that the bad decision that you made, you will not really feel it much, because time would have changed the whole thing. Time would have changed the whole situation. So yeah. And last but not least, I think this also is in line with building a career around the things you love, is that this has been said 1,000,001 times. You've heard this 1,000,001 times online. Be yourself. There's a limit to what you can do if you are not yourself. The only way you can enjoy life and move freely and painlessly through life is if you are your authentic self. You cannot succeed by being somebody else. I mean, you could try, but it's not sustainable. Let me put it that way. You cannot be somebody that you're not. You would try, right? You would try, but it's impossible. And if you want to succeed at anything, you just have to first know yourself. So if you don't know yourself, you cannot be yourself. So if you are in your late teens and your early 20s, I feel like the majority of your time should be spent on knowing yourself truly and truly. The things that matter to you, the things that do not matter to you, the kind of life you want to live for yourself. This would save you a lot of stress, and you would be on that path. Now also, you would also evolve, you would change, things would change you. Your 20-year-old self is definitely not your 23-year-old self, and it's definitely not your 25-year-old self. But I feel like each individual has a map, has a skeletal should I say a blueprint of who they are, and nothing really changes that much. There might be few modifications here and there, but it doesn't really change, you get. So it would save you so much stress, and it's just life will begin to make more sense when you begin to be yourself and embrace yourself. And it just comes from first understanding who you are, getting to fall in love with that version of you, and then being you without any reservations or any without holding back. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. So yeah, this has been it. This is where I'm going to be wrapping this video up. I I I would love to, if you would like to see a part 2 where I get to talk about other things I've learned, or where I would discuss more on the points I've made, I would really appreciate if you comment. It's so funny, this finger thing is so funny. If you comment down below that you do want to see it. Thank you for watching, and do like and subscribe if you would love to see much more content than this. Thank you so much for watching. I guess till I film another video. Bye.